Welcome back to another episode of The John, your daily sports dump, where we plunge into the sports world. We are a sports pipeline for breaking news, game recaps, and the hottest takes in the sports industry. So I take care of business, let us flush out the details, and fill you in on what's happening. So take a seat, get comfortable, and make sure you have plenty of TP. It's time to explode the commode. And today, I'm going to give you guys some early MLB season hot takes. Why this rookie class is one of the best rookie classes we've ever seen. Why Jordan Walker is an MVP, and Munetaka Murakami is being completely overlooked. And then finally, a little sweetener, why Shea Langeliers is this year's version of Cal Raleigh. All right, guys, let's start talking with these rookies. These rookies, I think, are very similar to the college basketball freshmen that we've seen. Chase DeLauter looks like a superstar. He's hitting 300, has 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, is leading the Guardians in almost every major hitting statistic on this team, and then is arguably one of their better hitters. Jose Ramirez is having a really down year in the sense of his start of this season. I think he'll be able to turn that around, obviously. But as of right now, I think Chase DeLauter could be the superstar and the future face of this franchise with how he's playing. Another dude that I really want to look into is J.J. Wetherholt. Now, yes, you can look at his stats, and he has been amazing, right? 214 average, has only 1 home run, 5 RBIs, only 1 double, only 12 hits, and 52 at-bats, right? He hasn't done the eye-popping thing. But something that I want to look at that I feel like is not getting talked about when people are talking about him, he has 10 walks. His OBP is 359. He gets on base. He has a great eye. And he's shown he went up through the minors like crazy last year. Started all the way in Double-A last year and made it all the way up to Triple-A, Major League camp this year. No one expected him to be in the Major League roster going into spring. He worked his way up, and the reason why is because his great eye discipline, because of his elite eye at the plate, and because obviously he has the hit tool. And you saw it early on in the season, right? He's cooled off a little bit in these last few games. He started off really good, and I'm really excited for his future. And another young shortstop or second baseman that I feel like could win arguably Rookie of the Year with how he's playing right now is Kevin McGonigle. Kevin McGonigle, I feel like, is arguably one of the best hitters on the Tigers. He's got 16 hits, he's got 6 doubles, a triple, just hit his first home run yesterday, got 8 RBIs, is hitting .322 with an OPS of 8.1, of 817, and a WAR of almost 1 already, and we're 15 games in. I mean, guys, having a WAR of almost 1 and we're being 15 games in the season is crazy. McGonigle is, I think, playing better than anyone thought he was going to be, especially this early on, and he's playing a lot better than this next guy that I'm going to talk about. But McGonigle, I think, could be a guy that could be the new the new Tigers sort of guy on offense, right? They have their Tarek Skubal, but they don't really have a guy on offense, right? You have a Riley Green who's good. You have a Spencer Torkelson who can get the job done, a Gleyber Torres, but you don't have a Aaron Judge, a superstar on this offense. I think McGonigle brings that to this team. And then finally, the final rookie that I really want to talk about is Connor Griffin. And the big reason, guy's got a 9-year, $140 million deal. He's 19 years old, first teenager since Juan Soto to play in the major leagues. And he hasn't done amazing, but guys, there's a reason he's got paid 9 years, $140 million. He's going to be a face of the franchise. And if the Pirates can, continue to build, right? They had a strong offseason. I don't know if I've talked on here about it. I was very happy with their offseason. They finally made some additions to this offense. If you can keep on adding to this offense, along with your young, exciting pitching staff that you have, keep Skeens in there, the Pirates could be dangerous. Now, will they do that? Only time will tell. But they have a really good and exciting young core. O'Neal Cruz, right? You got Skeens. You got Bubba Chandler. You have Seth Hernandez coming up. You have a bunch of young talent coming out of your team, and you're locking these guys down for a long-term deal. Let's see if you can get Skeens, though. Now I want to talk about Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker is one of my favorite players in the MLB this year. He's 23 years old. They rushed him to the big leagues. Like, a lot of people don't realize he was rushed, and you could tell, and it took him. He was what I like to call a 4A baseball player, right? AAA, he was elite. MLB, he wasn't that great. He was a perfect definition of a 4A guy before this year. But he always had the talent. He's always had the power. And if you look at his baseball metrics, he's hitting the ball hard. His launch angle is elite. Everything going into the season was favoring him in the statistics and how hard he was hitting the ball. So it was only a matter of time, right? He's got 7 home runs right now, 13 RBIs. He's hitting over 300. And he is on pace, if I remember correctly, to hit 75 home runs. Now, obviously, is that going to happen? Most likely no. But do I think he can be an MVP candidate this year? Yes. He's having a breakout year. He's finally doing and living up to the hype that he once had, right? He's got 2 doubles. He's got 7 home runs. He almost has as many walks as he has home runs. Now, obviously, the strikeout numbers are going to be a little high. Already has 17. But he's hitting over 300. Has an OPS over 1,000. Slugging over 700. OBP over 300. And a WAR of 1.2. If that doesn't scream MVP, I don't know what does. Because right now, we're looking at the NL MVP race, and who else can you think of that can really compete with him, right? Ohtani, obviously, is the first person that comes to mind. Maybe Skeens if he, pitches as well as he has been. But Jordan Walker has been elite. And people are just saying, oh, it might just be an early season thing. No, he does not look like he's slowing down anytime soon. Talking to some Cardinal fans around here, they believe in him. They think this is the year for him. This is the MVP year, and the Cardinals are supposed to have a down year. And if Jordan Walker keeps on playing like this, they're going to be a dangerous wild card team. I really think they're going to be fighting for that last wild card spot, and they're going to make some noise in October. And that's why I think Jordan Walker can be the MVP of the NL League this year if he keeps on playing like this. Next, my White Sox, obviously, Munetaka Murakami. Biggest signing in the offseason for the Sox, and who knows how long. Got overlooked, and he's making them pay. Now, right, he's not hitting amazing, right? Only 100 he's sitting right around the 200 mark. But he has 4 home runs. Easily 30-plus home run power, maybe even 40. Him with Colson Montgomery, if you compare that, sign Munetaka to a long-term deal. The White Sox are dangerous. They got a young team coming up. They just called up Schultz. They just called up Antonacci. This team is going to be a dangerous team in the future. I've been telling everyone they're going to get Rock Chalowski as well. This team's going to have athletes on athletes on athletes. Oh, yeah, and also Cal Teal's coming back. So all of these guys are coming back to this team, and it's so early on in the season. Now, do I think the White Sox are going to make a postseason run? No. Do I think they could be like the 2023 Diamondbacks and sneak into the playoffs? Now, I'm not saying they're going to make that run that Diamondbacks made, but I can totally see them making a little bit of a late season push if they get all their pieces together and win some games. I like Venable. They need some pitching on this staff, but overall, I think Grant Taylor is a future starter in this league. We've seen it. He's been an amazing opener for this team, arguably their best pitcher on the squad. And then you have Colson Montgomery. You have Munetaka Murakami, who has shown he is worth the money. He was worth a 100 to almost $2 million plus contract this offseason, and no one signed him. And now he's showing off the power, which was his selling point. He can hit the ball far and hard. Now, obviously, we need the average to get up, but he also has an elite eye, which makes up for some of his not as strong hitting woes. Right? He gets on base. He gets a lot of walks. He has a good eye. So Munetaka Murakami could be a steal of the offseason. Obviously, it's very early, and he needs to get the average up a little bit more in the OBP department. But he's got an elite eye and elite power. Finally, Shea Langeliers, I've seen enough, is this year's version of Cal Raleigh. Now, I don't know if he'll hit 63 home runs like Cal Raleigh did. I mean, last year, he hit in 123 games. He had 32 doubles, 31 homers, 72 RBIs, a 277 average, 325 OBP, 536 slugging, and an 861 OPS with about a 4 WAR season. So a relatively good season. And this year, he's up to 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. They just swept the Mets. The A's are going on all cylinders, and right, we know how dangerous the lineup. If Nick Kurtz can get going faster, right, if Jacob Wilson can catch up a little bit, Jeff McNeil is doing his thing right now. The A's are dangerous, and I think Shea Langeliers is that difference maker. If you can get a catcher who can give you 35 to 40 home runs, like something that I think I could see Langeliers doing this year, and being in that arguably MVP talk if he plays that well, I think Langeliers could help make this A's team make a legit playoff run. And I'm not just saying that because, right, we saw it last year with Cal Raleigh and right, Julio and what they did with Seattle. This A's team is young and talented, right? I hammered home how I'm high on the White Sox because they're young and talented. The A's are young and talented as well, and they have a lot more talent that is much more ready than the White Sox right now. And I think Shea Langeliers has shown it this year, right? He had sort of that year where he proved himself last year. I think this year's his breakout. I think he's arguably in the AL MVP talks, and right? Cal Raleigh has not done it this year. So I think that Shea Langeliers could make that sort of jump this year. But, guys, that's all I have for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of John, where we plunge into everything sports and flush out all the nonsense. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for sports updates and hot takes in real time. Join me next time on the John, your daily sports where we'll be unloading some cargo. Until then, keep game face on and stay regular. This is the John.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 35, 45 minutes.